In this video, we're going to go through an accessible routine that you can do each day if you're someone who struggles with balance and wants to start improving it. Now, of course, our feet are our foundation for balance, and so training our foot function can actually be a great way to indirectly improve our balance. And we've got a huge range of videos that can help you do this, of course, but I would recommend starting with this one because it's all about restoring your natural toe splay, which is definitely a priority when it comes to improving foot stability and stability throughout the whole lower limb. And that being said, and by the same token, training our balance can be a really great way to improve our foot function. And that is especially if you know how to start and how to progress, which is what we want to help you do with this routine. So let's get stuck in. So we'll start with some basic weight shifting, and that is where we're starting with a hip width stance, and we're literally shifting our weight forward and back to start with. Go nice and slow here. It's really just an exploration of the limits of your stability, and you're essentially moving your center of gravity around. So starting with forward and back, you can obviously shift side to side, and you can also go for a circle, as though your head is being drawn around in a circle by an imaginary string that's attached to the roof, if there's a roof above you. But you get the idea. You're shifting your weight all around, and just feel what's happening in your feet to maintain stability as you do those shifts. So you could do all of that with your full foot on the ground, or you could start to lift your feet off the ground like that as you move around. So this is just a really great way to wake up your feet and to prime the whole system ready to do more challenging balance movements. So we're just going for 1 minute of these weight shifts, and then you can move on to the next exercise. Next up, we're doing some narrow stance reaches. So we've shifted our stance from hip width to feet together, or at least narrower than feet together. Try to get feet together, but if you need to make it wider, that's fine. And then from here, we're actually just reaching outside of our base of support. So reaching forward to start, and depending on your mobility, you could reach towards the ground like that, or you could even just reach forward like that. You can go one arm at a time. You could go both arms at once. All we're trying to do here is challenge our balance by, as I said, moving outside of our base of support. So reaching forward, you can reach sideways, again, one arm at a time, like so, to the ground or to the side, like that, and you could go both arms together. So forward, left, right, and really just exploring. Again, it's all about exploration, how far you can move while maintaining your stability, and just working at whatever level suits you. It doesn't have to be in a prescribed pattern necessarily, but try and reach at least forward, left, right, and anywhere in between. And over time, try and reach further and further and further, while obviously maintaining your stability. Once you've done 1 minute of this one, you can move on. Okay, next up, we're doing some split stance balance. So from your narrow stance here, you can just go into a split stance, which I'll show you from the side, is the heel on the back foot lifted, and most of your weight is on the front foot. Now I've set up next to a wall here because this is going to be a more challenging stance, and having a wall next to you is just a great way to add some safety and some extra stability using your hand for assistance if you need it. So the aim here is to just be looking straight ahead to start. And if you can balance here without using the wall, that's great. What you can then do to challenge things a bit more is move your eyes. So you keep your head still, but you move your eyes left, like you're looking left as far as you can, looking right, looking up, or you could also close your eyes. And whenever you feel you need to, just tap the wall, or you could be putting a finger on the wall the whole time and just lifting off for 1, 2, 3 seconds at a time, or however long you can lift it off for before placing it back. So the idea is to use the wall instead of sort of stumbling and taking a step, and that will keep your feet working and obviously help you gain the feeling of maintaining stability, and over time use less reliance on the wall. So about 30 seconds on one side, and then the same thing on the other side, whether it's just standing, looking straight ahead, it could be the eye movements or the eyes closed, and just focus on the sensations that are coming through your feet. What are your feet doing? How are they feeling? And how's the rest of your body moving? And once you've done 30 seconds on both sides, you can move on. Okay, next up we'll be exploring tandem stance. So that is where we take this split stance and we just bring this foot back perfectly in line. And so from here, you can have heel up or heel down. You can try both. And then again, you're trying to get your stability just looking straight ahead. You can use the wall for balance as we have been, if need be. And then you can challenge your balance there by looking left, turning your whole head this time, looking right, or even looking up. So do all of those movements nice and slowly, and again, just tune into what your feet are doing, and what the rest of your body is doing, how much sway there is, and use that wall to stop yourself from sort of stumbling or stepping like that. Just stay in that position for 30 seconds, change sides, and repeat. So getting your stability, looking straight ahead. If that's challenging enough, you stop there. Otherwise, you add in those head movements, using the wall when you need to, or if you need to. And of course, over time, you want to be using less and less support from the wall. So eventually you might do all of these same things moved away from the wall. Whichever level you're working at, go for 30 seconds each side and then move on. And last up, we're progressing to single leg stance. So just for reference there, we've gone from hip width to narrow to split to tandem and now to single. So going through that process of making it harder to balance with our stance. Again, it's good to be next to a wall for this one, and we're actually just marching with one leg up. Hold that knee up. Try and lift off your fingers if you can, even if it's just for half a second. Place it back on. And rest the leg when you need to, but aim to build up to 30 seconds with that leg up. So if you need to come down and rest for a couple of seconds and then come back up at first, completely fine. 30 seconds on one side. You could rotate to do the other side if you want, but you don't really need to. And again, really trying to stand up nice and tall. If you're noticing yourself do some of this, try and straighten up. Using these lateral hip muscles. Standing tall, focus on breathing, rest when you need to, build up to 30 seconds on each side with the knee up. You get a lot of work through the hip with this one. Most people will feel their foot working as well, and obviously builds your overall stability. So once you've done 30 seconds, both sides, that wraps up your routine. So quite a quick and simple routine there. Obviously you can practice any of those drills for longer if you've got the time. but it's not really about getting a workout with this, it's really about training your nervous system to stabilize. And so frequency over intensity is really key there. But as you build that foundation, you can add other layers of complexity and fun into the mix. But otherwise, if you're enjoying these videos, please do like and subscribe. That helps support our channel, and we put videos out like this every week. And if you're looking for more structured programs and guidance from TFC pros and community support and just a place to share questions and struggles and achievements, then we do have our Explorer membership, which you can find out all the details about through the link in the description below.